1231 Stone Canyon, which is the former residence of Judy Garland. I sold this house for a little over $11 million recently. It's a beautiful home, and it's got pedigree. It was built by Wallace Neff, who is, I would say, one of the most recognized architects in California history, and very popular in Bel Air at the time. This house was built by Judy Garland when she was in The Wizard of Oz. She was only, I think, 16 years old at the time when she had this house built for her. She lived here with her mother, and I think her grandmother, actually. And the house was meticulously renovated. The house is just completely mint condition. There's nothing you could do if you tried. It's so mint. And it was fabulously decorated.
In 1994, I actually sold the wrong house. If you've followed me for any period of time, you've probably heard this story, but you've probably never seen the house that he was meant to buy. I had shown a client 2 houses on West Paces Ferry Road. I'd shown him a few other houses, but when we got back to my office, he said, "Glennda, I want to make an offer on the house on West Paces Ferry Road." Wrote the offer up, signed the offer. He wasn't going to live in the house. He was actually going to tear it down. So he didn't do an inspection. He was going to pay cash for it. He didn't do an appraisal, and he was going to tear it down. So we didn't even do a walkthrough. But Sunday night, the night before closing, he calls me and says, "Hey, Glennda, somebody is living in the house." And I'm like, "Nobody's living in the house." "No, I drove by. There's cars, there's people living in the house." Well, I called the agent, the listing agent, and I said to her, I said, "Patty," I said, "is somebody living in the house?" And she goes, "No, Glennda, it's vacant." I call him back, "Nobody's living in the house. We're good to close." We go to closing Monday morning. And then he wants to go back by the house. And no lie, he's in the car with me. We drive up Habersham Road. I'm getting ready to turn right to go to the house. And he says, "The house is to the left." And I said, "The house is to the right." He looks at me. He's a little bit annoyed. He goes, "Glennda, the house is to the left." And we drive by the house and there's cars. He goes, "See, I told you someone is living there." I about have a nervous breakdown. You go to real estate jail for this. Now keep in mind, I've been selling real estate like 2 years at this point. I flipped that car around like I am Mario Andretti. I am driving down West Paces Ferry Road like you cannot believe. And I pull into that other driveway. I jump out of that car like I'm Vanna White. "This is the house you bought." And I never will forget watching that guy get out of the car and look at the house. And there's this knee wall, and he sits down the knee wall. He puts his head down and he looks back up and he says, "You sold me the wrong house." And I looked at him and I said, "The wrong house? This is an acre. Can you imagine the house you can build here? Here you go. It's gonna have this gorgeous entrance. It's got room for a pool. I mean, everybody wants to live on this side. This is down by the governor's mansion." I remember it like it was yesterday. And he looks around and he goes, "I think I can make this work." That right there was a defining moment in my career. I knew for a fact I was a great salesperson and I was a problem solver.
See, the one element that stuck with me about 2A Brooklyn, and the reason why
someone lives there.
The reason why Tricia's laughing now is because not only is like it has beautiful detail and a beautiful home. The second you walk in, it looks like a museum. But a serial killer was the architect of the property, and I met this serial killer
many times,
and he's now in jail for what, 7, 8, 9,
11?
11 murders that he apparently committed. I made an appearance on Dateline about this whole story. And TMZ. Yeah.
We can't get unstuck from this house.
Yeah. And I didn't know when I met this guy that he was a serial killer. But the serial killer is a renowned architect. I mean, a serious architect in New York City.
That so many agents have worked with.
Yeah.
But we were actively working with him when all of this craziness came down. But luckily, the house is gorgeous. We had sold the house. The house is beautiful. Talk about period details, insane.
I would need to mention that, like, the 2 sales here have gone to
the actors with major movies.
Yeah, major movies.
Major movie actors.
that you would know?
Which speaks to the allure and sexiness of Brooklyn as a whole. I think that these homes naturally just bring a creative, because you have the original bones and all the original period details as a canvas to really create like a mansion style home. And I think that that's what they see.
This is unique to New York. This one I want to say is 1906. St. John's is 1899. You don't find these period homes that have all the details still intact. As a A-level celebrity or as multi-millionaire, billionaires, whatever, you want something that's really unique that no one else is going to have.
The first one I want to hit is 671 Lincoln Avenue in Winnetka. Guess what house it is? Home Alone. Everybody knows that house. I was so honored to be the chosen one to market it. It is a phenomenally restored home. It was completely reimagined. Everything was done. Brand new baths, brand new kitchen. It had a 3-car attached garage. It had a media room. It had this cool bar card room, and it had a full basketball court dug underneath it. But it still had the emotional kind of connection. So for that reason, I wanted to make it so special. I wanted the buyers and everybody that saw it to realize, wow, this is the shell of the house that magic was made, but it's so much more than that. You kind of would expect them to do a movie theater. I mean, after all, it's the Home Alone house, but what was unexpected was that basketball court. And what's interesting about Home Alone, it's not only the most Googleable house, if that's a word, but it's also the most visited house in America. You talk about that pinch me moment. I wanted that special person not to just want to add it to their collection, but really cherish it and think, oh my gosh, I just got to buy a part of like cinematic history. It's bananas. It's a heritage property and a heritage movie. I got to be a part of the legacy of the story. I thought it was amazing.
Okay, so the first one here is the Invisible House. This one was ridiculous. You pull up to this house in the middle of Joshua Tree, and it's a skyscraper on its side, like quite literally just a wall of glass on its side. My favorite part of this house was the pool. It almost went the entire width of the home, just nuts. The owner actually is a Hollywood producer, and he actually produced American Psycho, so he had a ton of great stories. We got to hang out with him. This quite literally is a skyscraper on its side, so architecturally, it cantilevers over these boulders, and they didn't move any of those boulders. That is original to the property. They built this entire structure around those boulders. When you're going to the edge, if you jump even a little bit, you feel that thing move. Like, you feel it creak, it moves. From the outside, you don't really know what you're getting yourself into, but when you go inside, the entire house is super industrial. It's actually only 2 bedrooms. So in the entire structure that you're seeing here, it's only 2 bedrooms. And again, it's just a little toothpick on 80 acres. So you're out in the middle of nowhere by yourself in a wall of glass with a little eerie at night. It's actually not as dark out there as you might think because all the stars and the moon. From every angle, obviously the entire structure was made of glass. So doesn't matter where you're standing. Could be the shower, could be the toilet. You can see directly outside into Joshua Tree and all these boulders. It makes you feel like you're on a different planet. Feels like Mars. I may have had an interaction with extraterrestrials while we're out there.